So we decided to do an Agile Executive Breakfast specifically to create that awareness around Agile. Agile is really the buzzword and has been for a long time. But we found that companies really struggle with the Agile adoption. It's not an easy process, and we've actually seen companies fail, but we've also seen great successes, which is the purpose of the breakfast today, is client testimonies, clients that's gone through this difficult process and has been amazingly successful at it.
The traditional way of bringing solutions to production will not survive much longer, and there's a strong case for businesses to be agile, not only in the deployment of technology, in the business models themselves, because it is such a dynamic market that we're in.
We've moved all of our projects from waterfall, now using Scrum methodology. The projects are delivering on 2-week sprints. We're doing weekly release cycles, all of those sorts of things. But I think there's still a lot more that we can do to get the culture going and to get people into the Agile methodology and the way of thinking and the principles and the practices.
We've taken this breakfast to Cape Town, to Durban. Durban market's picking up, and today in Johannesburg. It's really to create that awareness around Agile, and we can just not learn enough around Agile, and we've got international speakers here today, and we've got a lot that we can learn from the Americans and the way they do Agile.
I think one of the major challenges is at the frontline manager to middle management level. Talking with executives, they are usually sponsoring the initiative and are very much on board and understand the ins and outs and have maybe even done some research on it. I find also at the individual contributor level, at the team level, as people learn it, they understand that this is a way for them to really be able to make decisions in their organization. So there's somebody that usually loses out in this. And the people that are typically the decision makers then wonder, well, what am I getting out of this? I feel like I'm losing my job.
There's a story at Hollard where they had an IT in Durban recently, and one of the guys came to me and said, "Yes, Berto, well done. You haven't been there for long. Great." They rave about Agile at the IT. They raved at the IT in Durban, and I said, "It's not me. It's a good framework, and managers who can change their mindset quickly. Then they can adopt the framework a lot quicker."
The Agile market is interesting in South Africa. We estimate between our Agile coaches that about between 30 and 40% of organizations has started the Agile adoption journey, the Agile transformation, and it's not a lot, but within that we've seen great successes. I really firmly believe that Agile is the way to go. I firmly believe if companies do not adopt Agile in the next 5 years, they're actually going to struggle to attract talent.
The traditional way of bringing solutions to production will not survive much longer, and there's a strong case for businesses to be agile, not only in the deployment of technology, in the business models themselves, because it is such a dynamic market that we're in.
It challenges you, it really does. It's a different mindset.
There's always this one individual, the dark horse, that changing his mindset, changing the way he thinks is a big challenge, but then they become your biggest ally. They in the end, they're the ones that can drive the transformation further.
Understand where you are, get that awareness in the business of where you stand right now. You can't move forward until you know where you actually are at the exact point. Then you need to get buy-in all the way from top senior management through to the middle management, and also very important, and I think sometimes people forget this, is you need the IT teams to also buy into it. Developers' jobs are going to change, the BA's jobs are going to change, the project managers' jobs are going to change. They need to buy into these things and realize that actually their lives are going to get better and more fun, and they're not going to have a problem with job security.
For me, the biggest benefit is how quickly we can realize value from the efforts and the investments that we make in IT projects.
I think that was actually quite a big challenge and a change, is to be able to say, you tell me when you're going to deliver, I'm not going to tell you when you're going to deliver, but when you say that you're going to deliver on that date, you need to stick to that. And the big thing as well is also starting to drive quality over time. So, the big driver we have is we always make sure we try to prevent the amount of technical debt as far as possible. And that's been quite a big thing as well, is our COO saying to me, wow, you actually just cancel a release because the quality is not there. And I said, yeah, that's where we're going to now. We can't just push things in and hope for the best. We're going to make sure that we get the right things in.
Once you've done that transition over to Agile, you really cannot imagine working in another way, which is interesting and very appealing for staff.